not a YouTuber, just like making videos. And I'm beginning to believe that there's just, no competition for me. Not on this side of YouTube. Anyway, now of course a lot of people want me to respond to LA and so forth. This ain't really a response. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get into no screaming match with a grown man. This dude has already proven to be childish, completely juvenile. And it seems that I really kind of hurt his feelings. I'm like, you talk about somebody getting uber emotional. Now, when LA, when he when he tried to catch me and say that, because I mispronounced the word and he said Uber wasn't a word, I knew that he lost. And anybody with an IQ over 80, and I really don't believe in IQ scores, but still, for the sake of saying it, an IQ over 80 at that point should have said that there's no possible way that LA can even challenge me on any sort of mental plane. They should have looked at him like, yeah, this dude ain't that bright. But that's why I can, and that's the same reason why I call this corner of YouTube decadent, desolate, and dilapidated. The triple D's. Now if you know anything about the triple D, and Japan, a triple D job is considered the worst. It's considered, they consider it dirty, degrading, and undesirable. Yeah, even though they put that U in front of it, you can. That's a little bit of trivia. I know. I always throw these little things in there. You know what I'm saying? People say I should go on Jeopardy because I just have this. When I hang out, sometimes when I hang out with people in a bar, I seem obnoxious because I always say stuff. I always correct people on things. I always have this. This, you know what I'm saying? This just, I don't know. Now I'm going to address the video. Just like I said, this is not going to be some entertaining roast. I'm not going to say motherfucker and bitch and this and that and all this other stuff. I'm going to just deal with it like any rational human being. Addressed a couple of points and address why I will never debate this guy live, and why he is my mental inferior. Now, first of all, in that video, he didn't address what my initial issue was. Why did I make that last video? I made that last video because he lied on me, but he didn't even bring that up. He said something about it, but no. When LA took his iPhone out or whatever and put it to the screen because it was too lazy to do some editing. Let me talk about this. He said, I'm on vacation from YouTube. I'm like, this dude incriminates himself. I'm like, this dude, there's no possible way I can take this dude seriously. But of course, this is the same dude who said that why don't animals pay rent? I'm like, the things that come out his mouth, I'm like, he's just, he's a grown man that is literally, I'm like, his level of intelligence is so subpar. I'm like, it's scary. I'm like, it's sad. When he doesn't even know that Uber was the word. Of course, Uber is I think a Germanic word. You know what I'm saying? It's from the German language, Deutsch. I would say, because they consider that, you know what I'm saying, Deutsch, and I do speaking Deutsch. You know what I'm saying, I know a little bit of German, you know what I'm saying. Ich bin der Pinhead Blackston. Ich komme von Schweinfurt. But no, enough about me, I'm not going to sit up there and brag about how cultured I am and places that I've been at, It's pointless. But anybody who observes this guy and observe me know that we have two different backgrounds. We have two different upbringings. You know, and I've never thought in a million years that, you know, once I've reached adulthood, and once I was 24 years old, I wouldn't be arguing with a grown man over looks and who gets the most women or not. You know, I never thought it. You know what I'm saying? This is, I think I'm thinking, I've sunk to a new low. You know, I want people to put me out my misery. I would want somebody to come and crush me in some sort of debate, and I'll completely duck and, you know what I'm saying, and leave YouTube. You know, because at this point, it's not entertaining anymore. You know, it's become sorry. You know what I'm saying? No competition whatsoever. None. Not even remotely close. Not with this guy and so forth. I'm like this. So, but let me get back before I go on, you know what I'm saying, some tangent. But the fact that LA didn't bring up the fact or even provide any shred of evidence that I talked about his kids or I attacked his kids. Maybe in the comment section I talked about his kids' well-being. That's different. But, you know what I'm saying, he did not provide any proof that we attacked. Because in his video he said, y'all need to stop attacking kids, this and that. And he didn't. That video was completely putrid. I'm like, it was hard. I'm like, it was completely detestable. You know, that he put his children, you know, up there to be bait, and he put his own kids in there to be to be subjects of ridicule, you know, for a roast. I find it just disturbing. But other people don't, because they entertained by these his antics or somebody. Now this is somebody you don't want to be. Now this is somebody you definitely don't want your daughters to ever get involved with and so forth. I'm like, people, he's like I'm like a technician or a tactician. This dude is a court jester, and he doesn't know it. That's the thing. That people may be amused by his antics, but they deep down they feel sorry for him or sad for him. Now, no matter how much times he talk about getting pussy and so forth, and a grown man worried about looks. You know, me personally, I think he looks grotesque. Not him, not his physical face or whatever. You know, maybe or something of that nature, but just looking, I'm like, there's times when LA seemed like he took a bath, but most time it doesn't. I'm like, he has ashy lips, ashy knuckles. His teeth are going through decolorization right now. You know, I'm like, his teeth is decayed, and my teeth ain't perfect. I can stand going to the dentist and get a good whitening. But, you know what I'm saying, I got all 32 teeth in my mouth, and there's no sign of decay. Maybe a little plaque, but, you know, no decay. And one thing I do know about women, you know, is that, you know, that they consider that a turn on. Maybe not the chicks he messed with, but the chicks I mess with, you know. The chicks I deal with, you know what I'm saying, we can take canal walks, and I'll talk to them about, we can talk about the poetry of Langston Hughes and things of that nature, and I can really show off my on how cultured I am and so forth. You know what I'm saying? I can take them to places like the Ocean Air or McCorbett and Smith's. You know, he'll take a female to one of them little chicken restaurants that is connected to the gas station. I'm like, he's hood. I'm like, there ain't no getting by it. He's hood. There's no reason for me to even try to spar with this guy. There's no reason why I would debate this guy. What the hell are we going to debate on? What is it about the pimp game? About why animals don't pay rent? Yeah, you know, that whole Uber comment, that already killed it right there. There's no need for me to make this video, because every time he opens his mouth, he destroyed himself. And in my personal opinion, this dude he'll never, you know what I'm saying, be famous, you know, or whatever. I'm like, that's just I'm like, be famous doing what? I'm like, he's not even building himself up. I'm like, he's staying in his small corner of YouTube making roast videos. It's very easy to piss this guy off and set him off, you know. And I can tell that I can look, even though I'm not a psychologist, I can look and I can tell that, yeah, he read some of my video got to him. You know what I'm saying? Anybody would see that. And the only time he got to me is when he lied on me. No, other than that, no, not, his words can't penetrate me. Is that when he literally bearing false witness and lie on me and so forth. And the thing is with this corner of YouTube and how sickening this guy is. We know people go for low blows. You know, I'm like, if you constantly leave your back door open, you can't expect people to be to feel sorry for you when somebody will go in and steal your shit. They're like, you left your back door open. Here's another example. If I have if I walk on a bus, a public bus with my kid, and I just start ragging on people and start just cracking jokes, snapping on them, playing the dudgeons. You know, somebody looks at me and say, hey, that's why you got an ugly kid. And no, I'm not talking about LA's kid. You know, then I say, oh, that's foul. That, in real life, people play dirty. I'm not talking about, but in real life, people, you know what I'm saying, people will go low. You know, people randomly just call kids ugly and so forth. They're just driving and they'll look at a kid and like, oh, that's an ugly ass kid and so forth. But the thing is with LA, he's a child, and so forth. I'm like, he's somebody that doesn't take care of himself. You know, he dressed like he was still in high school, and so forth. And then this whole thing about books. He said, oh, if you read books, like books are gonna brainwash you and so forth. You know, well, I guess we should go to all the schools and, you know what I'm saying, libraries and, you know, and spread the news. LA had it figured out. Books somehow brainwash us. But the thing is, me unable to have original thought because I read books and I recite books, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, that's inconclusive. You know, first of all, as I tell everybody, I told people time and time again, I'm an artist. I say that, and when you're an artist, you have no choice but to be a deep thinker and to have I'm a creative person when it comes to the arts. You know what I'm saying? I don't manifest it on my YouTube channel. Sometimes I'll put my art on one of my pages, but I don't manifest it. Maybe I'll come out with another channel and put my art up. But, you know, anybody who said, but people will ignore that because that's too much in my favor. You know what I'm saying? It's like if he says, oh, you just copy out of books, you have no originality. Technically, I don't have to have any originality. The average American doesn't have to have originality. But yeah, I'm an artist, and the thing is, for me, I can admit maybe that ship has already sailed, but still, when I put my art out there, if I want to finally finish doing some projects I'm working on, people don't have to know my face. They don't have to. It's like being an author. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to know what I look like to say, oh, I'm too old to be doing this and so forth. And also, I'm working on a horror novel, you know, and things of that nature. That's why I said so. In a lot of ways, I am kind of wasting my time here on YouTube, but I wish somebody would run me off, and that way I can just focus on, you know what I'm saying, let my creative juices flow. So this ain't a comeback video to LA. But what? To him, it's the same old rigmarole. You know, he's like a hamster on a running mill. You know what I'm saying? At this point. You know, there's no need. I'm just telling you why I won't debate this guy. You know what I'm saying? Why I think this guy has the intelligence quotient of Kelly Bundy off Married with Children, and she's a fictional character. You know, I'm like he when he's mad and upset, he says some stupid ass shit, and then he says that my sperm will be dying. I won't have any kids. You know what I'm saying? First of all, men have active as long as they get it right. But I wouldn't expect him to know that science. He's confusing men's sperm, men unable to reproduce with menopause. Yeah, around my age, women go through menopause, but there's been cases of women having children at 55 years old. So that tells you, I'm like, this guy is just not smart. I'm like, he's he's dumb. I'm like, if this dude is not dumb, then what is dumb? You know what I mean? If this dude is not immature and juvenile, then what is? You know what I'm saying? Point at me, point at somebody anywhere that's thinking on this level. But the thing is, LA is so dumb, you don't recognize it, you don't realize it. And so he actually think he's smart and clever and got stuff figured out. Okay, now I'm going to go into another thing, how he incriminated himself. It's about the whole Kevin ordeal. He says Kevin didn't like me. I'm some childish high school, not even high school shit, junior high. You know, even if Kevin didn't like me, you know what I'm saying, why would he ran and snitch? I guess he got mad because I pointed out some things about him roasting people after Kevin did. And maybe LA's right on that. Maybe there was a reason why he went and roasted people, cooked people right after Kevin. And maybe it's what a coincidence and so forth. But to me, that's like some tattletale shit. I'm like, that's not, you know, even going by hood and the logic, that's not cool at all. You know what I mean? Just to run and tell like, hey, you know what, this dude don't like you. You know what I'm saying? He's been meaning to roast you and so forth. And that's the thing I got a problem with the roasters. That's their threat. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna roast you. When everybody who's gotten roasted, they've never left YouTube. It's not like they got roasted and they left, they had to duck their head down and so forth. You know, but still, I'm like, you're running off the mouth. If that was between you and Kevin, you should have, you know what I'm saying, kept it between you and Kevin. It bears no relevance and so forth. It's incriminating, you know what I'm saying? It shows how juvenile you are and how nobody can trust you with any sort of information that you're going to run, and then as if my feelings has gotten hurt from this. But I know your feelings have got hurt. You know, I can tell in your voice how you sporadically would say bitch and ugly bitch. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry I hurted your feelings that bad. If you want me to, I'll take the video down. I thought you had your big boy pants on, and I thought you could handle it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have tough skin, LA. Now people say that I'm sensitive or whatever, but I've never cracked up on here. It's just that I think I'm so intelligent and calm that, you know what I'm saying, and people have mistaken my demeanor for weakness. But you know what I'm saying, everybody knows, wow, has there a time when I've gotten emotional? Yes. You know, we all have. But I've never gotten emotional over the wrong things. Like I got emotional over Trayvon Martin and things of that nature. But, you know, like just seeing LA's just horrible attempt of a video, seeing how uneducated this dude is, you know, seeing how this dude dang near proves the bell curve theory. You know, it's just, you know, you know, and the thing is, with my sex life and so forth, if I was reckless like LA was, you know, I would have probably had 4 baby mothers in high school and so forth. It's just how I was brought up. But this is the problem with the black commonwealth. You know, you have people that was just brought up in a good environment, and you have other people that are not. And me not having kids, you know what I'm saying, that's my own choice. I'm like, kids are expensive. You know, if I have kids, I'm going to put them in the best environment possible. You know, I'm not going to get a handout, you know, from the county, you know what I'm saying, or from Big Daddy government, and so forth. And I'm not saying he does, but still, even when people say that he lives off Section 8 and shit like that, he doesn't do much to refute it, you know, and so forth.